Hi guys. So I am making this video because a lot of things politically have been happening recently and I haven't talked to anyone about it and no one's ever talked anything like to me about it, and I feel like I just need to shine some more light on the things that have been happening recently. I promised myself that I wouldn't talk politically every video, and I promise I won't, but just for right now, a lot of things have been like on my mind that I've read recently, and the further that I get into it, the more like crazy and corrupted it becomes. So honestly, the first thing I want to jump right in is a top federal prosecutor in Manhattan was recently resigned for not dropping a case against the New York City mayor, who is Mayor Eric Adams. And he right now is being charged, well, he was going to be charged with destroying evidence and instructing others to destroy evidence, as well as providing false information to the FBI. I don't know what that information is or what it like discloses or anything about the case, but I do know that she was resigned after accusing Adam's lawyer, who I'm not sure is, but she accused Adam's lawyer of offering a quid pro quo. I'm not sure how to say that, but it basically means that the mayor will assist on the immigration, like deportation and stuff like that. The mayor will assist in that if the case gets dropped. And so Sasson did not want the case to be dropped. Danielle Sasson is the top prosecutor that I'm talking about. But she did not drop it. And so she was resigned from office. She's no longer working with the federal government. And I find that really, really concerning because if the government is offering this mayor's lawyer this deal that if their case gets dropped, the mayor will help with deportation and immigration, it's really quite suspicious because as a country, like, obviously immigration is an issue, but not in a sense where a mayor should be providing like substantial help to get these people off the streets. And I'm really quite confused by this whole situation. Danielle Sasson, the top prosecutor, as I said before, was also told by Emile Bove, who I don't know the gender. I'm going to assume it is a male, but Sasson was told by him that she wouldn't be able to view this case in particular about the mayor, in a fair and full way, so she better drop the case. And Emile Bove was a former Trump personal lawyer, and I just find that quite concerning. Is Trump asking this case to be brought down, or is this happening because the mayor of New York City doesn't want his secrets getting out? And I I am going to go further into this case and like research what has happened and what information that he has like been providing to the FBI that's been false. But I just find it like, why are we not taking someone out of office if they've done something wrong? I understand that there needs to be like a court in a criminal case, but if the mayor destroyed evidence, which is, I'm not sure if it's a felony, but it sure is a crime. And if he is instructing others, not influencing, like he's instructing others to destroy more evidence, then that is also a crime. And providing false information to the FBI, I fear, is also a crime. So why are we letting these, not felony offenders, but these offenders stay in office and continue to make our community go round? I don't understand it, because if they do it and they get away with it, what is promised that they're not going to do it again? That's quite like, that's a big thing that I was confused about when I read this. And another thing that has recently happened is that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. became Trump's health chief. And this is a very controversial conversation for a lot of people, because Robert F. Kennedy is a vaccine skeptic, which technically means that he doesn't believe that vaccines will help people. and he publicly he publicly stated that the U.S. government doesn't have a good vaccination and that it's never been like positive. And in either one of his speeches or reading somewhere, this I've read this all online, and he said he refused to acknowledge that there was evidence that these vaccines were good. Like, for example, he refused to acknowledge that vaccines were not causing autism in children. He believes that they were, even if there's substantial evidence that they were not. Another example of this is that he is refusing to acknowledge that the COVID vaccines like saved millions and millions of people, but he doesn't believe that. And I think that's a very strong argument that somebody can make, but I believe that if somebody is a vaccine skeptic and they're in the position to spend 1.7 trillion federal dollars on vaccine recommendations, food safety, and health insurance programs for, I don't know, roughly half of the country, I strongly disagree with this decision because I don't believe that we should put someone in office who doesn't believe the evidence and who doesn't have the background. Instead, we should be finding someone who has the background and will believe concrete evidence and will strive to find more evidence that will help our country more. Why are we putting someone who doesn't believe in modern science into office? Modern science is basically human science. Science is human nature, basically. Like, if you put it into a very, very broad spectrum, science has helped us evolve as humans for thousands of years, like thousands and thousands of years. It's been around, and if we can't understand and see the evidence that it's providing us, how are we going to evolve further and continue to flourish? I think that this decision was not a very wise one, and in fact, it was also a very, very close vote. It was 52 to 48, and the Democrats opposed this to happen. They opposed Kennedy to come into office as the health chief. And I'm not sure if it was anonymously or not. Pardon, I don't know how to say that word. But I just know that they were very unhappy with it and that it's going to cause a lot of controversy and a lot of arguments in our government right now. I personally disagree with it, like, strongly. But moving on from politics, I have no more politics to talk about today, but moving on, in Kansas City in 2023, a young man, Ralph Yawler, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say his last name, it's Yarl, he accidentally rang the wrong doorbell, and he got shot twice. He first got shot in the head and then the arm, or it might have been the arm and then the head. But he was on the way to pick up his twin siblings, and he believed that the man, whose name is Andrew Lester, he believed that he was just the guardian, and he wasn't worried, he wasn't expecting this to happen to him. So this Andrew Lester, on Valentine's Day, he pleaded guilty to this. He did this, and Ralph, the young man who rang the doorbell, he was a Black African-American man, and he is currently okay. He's currently a freshman at, I believe, Virginia, but I'm not sure about that. And he has gone about his life, but this case was kind of mind-boggling to me. And I've said that word before, I believe, but it's crazy that he is just now pleading guilty to something he did 2 years ago. And how have we not suspected this and put him into custody for doing something against this man who ultimately did nothing wrong? He rang the wrong doorbell, picking up his siblings, thinking that it was a guardian, and was not sure what to expect. So how is it his fault? It is not. I believe that this case should have been taken like less than a week. Okay, when I read about this case also in 2023, and I was like, if he did it, why is he not getting, like, jail time or something like that? It was crazy to me that we had to wait 2 years for this poor guy to get justice for being shot twice. He was shot twice. Like, what? I personally did not read it even into that case anymore because I knew that it would just infuriate me that our justice system didn't take action sooner. So I don't have any more information on that. If you do, it's Andrew Lester, Kansas City, the shooting of a black male who rang the wrong doorbell. That's the case. And it's crazy. It's just insane to me that we keep allowing this to happen. So the last thing I kind of want to just touch on, I didn't do a lot of research about it, but is the flooding that's been happening recently in our country. Most notably, several towns have been flooded and have gone through this, but Tennessee, West Virginia, and Arkansas have all gotten flood warnings. I'm not sure if any of those states have also flooded, but I do know Kansas has in some places. But the thing that I took away when reading about these floodings was that California has been getting substantial amount of mudslides. And after all of these Californian fires, like, imagine how devastating that has to be. Some people still don't have homes from the fires. And a town near the Eaton fire, when it was uncontained, they had insane amount of damage to their towns and everything in them. There has been debris and mud on the ground in their cars, in their houses for I'm not sure how long, but I'm assuming a few days, if not a few weeks. And it's crazy. How is this happening? And nobody's talking about it. I understand, and I live in Michigan, and we are the safest state because we don't have to worry about like tsunamis and earthquakes and such like that. But it is still like we're not giving this empathy to these people who would deserve it and they need it. Like, these homeless people have just gone through a fire and now they have to go through mudslides and rains and flooding, and it's just like we need to be putting more of our resources towards that instead of, say, the new tariffs that have been coming on. I'm not going to get into that because that's a really heavy topic and I don't know a lot of information about it. But we should not be focusing on as much external, and we should be focusing on our internal country issues. If we can't maintain internally, how are we going to maintain externally? If we are not put together inside of our country, inside of our communities, inside of our society, how are we going to expand and grow as a country if we can't focus in on what's actually happening? And I just think that it's like, if I had the chance, I would go and help those people immediately. If I was a first responder, I'd be there in seconds. I'd be there at the scene in seconds if I could. But I unfortunately cannot, and I don't think a lot of people think about it like that. Like, if it was you in that situation, how would you be feeling? How would you want to get help? Would you want help? Of course you would. And it's such a huge topic that we haven't been providing as much resources and help to a lot of the people who are actually in need. And I understand that our first responders and a lot of first responders from Mexico even came up and helped us with those fires, and we got them 100% contained. But now these floods are coming in and just destroying everything again, and it's like, how much more can our Californians, our Kentuckians, like, how much more can they take? Especially the Californians because of how much they've already been through, but like, it's just crazy. We need to be putting our focus on these people and helping them. I just think that as a country, we need to start understanding what's truly, truly important and not what is seemingly important. I just personally think that we need to be looking internally more instead of externally. I said this already, and I just basically went on a rant about it, but to strive and to thrive in a community, we have to be structurally, like, put together, and we are currently not. Maybe some states are, but it's kind of mayhem right now. Our country is kind of mayhem. Like, it's just crazy. That was kind of a lot, and if I got any information wrong or anything like that, please let me know, and I will try to fix my um, fault immediately. And thank you for the comments in the past video. I promise I will respond to them as soon as I can. I'm currently having a software problem with YouTube, so I can't right now, but I promise I will. And thank you guys for watching this. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. Bye.